Hi. So I want to share with you this morning my why. So it's something that we talk about a lot in our groups with our participants. We always want to talk about our why because life gets busy, life gets hard. It's easy to say I don't feel like working out today, or it's easy to say I'm just going to not grocery shop this week. I'm just going to pick from what I have. And so I always remind people when they get into a hard part or they're struggling with something, I always say, remember your why. Because we have reasons why we are choosing to live a healthy lifestyle, right? Like it's easier not to work out. It's easy to just throw some microwave dinner into the microwave instead of cooking a healthy meal. There's shortcuts to all these things, right? It's easier to do these things. And so I always come back to, what is your why? Why do you want to live a healthy lifestyle? Why do you want to exercise? So I'm going to try to be brief, but I have three different whys that I want to talk to you about. So there's three things that I was kind of thinking about that I wanted to share with you. So one is why I exercise. One is why I eat healthy. And the third is why I've joined this program specifically. So the first why that I want to talk about is why I exercise. So to me, this really goes back to growing up. So when I was all growing up, my parents have always exercised, always. They have always taken us for bike rides. They've always gone for walks. My mom used to do exercise classes. When I was in middle school, my dad took up running. And then fast forward a few years, he was running marathons and competing in Ironman. And my parents as adults both learned how to swim. So exercise has always been an important part of just life. And that's just something that I have been taught from the time I was a child. It's just something that I have seen. It's just my parents talked to me about the importance of exercise. They encouraged me to play sports to keep my body strong. And that's something that a lot of women in this group are parents. And so what's your why for exercise? Even if it's just that you want to teach your children how to live a healthy lifestyle, like that's a great reason for why, because now as I'm an adult, I learned that from my parents and I'm still living that life because of what I was taught. It's not, I never consider exercise to be an optional thing. Like to me, it's like, what are you doing for exercise? Not, are you exercising? Because it's just, it has always just been part of my life. Um, my next thing that I want to share with you is why I eat healthy. So again, this is something that I was always taught from a young age as a child. My dad always taught me, you eat a vegetable with every meal. If you're hungry before dinner, you eat a piece of fruit. You know, like just eating a well-balanced diet was something that was always taught to me growing up. And then as an adult, when I wasn't living in my parents' house, um, and like busy in school and college and all that, I wasn't doing as well. My husband and I would like eat a lot of snacks. We'd go out to eat. We'd buy the microwave stuff. And then when I was in my mid 20s, someone very close to me actually got diagnosed with cancer. And I was changed by this because the person that I knew who was diagnosed was also in their 20s. You don't ever expect that. It was shocking. It rocked us to our core. And when things like that happen to you, you change. You are forever changed when someone you love goes through something like that. I'm very fortunate that this person is still with me and thriving and wonderful. But we both, after that experience, changed the way we eat drastically. My husband and I, we stopped buying the junk food. If we do go out to eat, we are more careful with what we are choosing. We changed the way we eat from going through that experience. And so that is why I eat healthy, because I have learned and I put a huge focus on the fact that what you put into your body matters. Sometimes I think like I'm not really like a car person, but like, are you going to put junk in your car and expect it to run? No. You can't put junk in your body and expect it to run the right way. Your cells, your brain, your blood, it needs the right nutrients to run the right way. It is like very plain and simple. You have to eat nutrients in order for your body to function the right way. So you may not be able to see what's happening in your body when you're eating junk food, but if you do it day after day after day, that's when the scary things happen, like diabetes and high cholesterol and strokes and heart disease. It's not going to happen when you're 20, but it will happen if you start those bad habits when you're in your 20s and you don't stop. So that was a huge wake up call to me when I was in my mid 20s, that I couldn't keep going the way I was going and expect to live a healthy life. So that's my why for why I eat healthy. So the third thing that I wanted to share with you is why I am doing this program specifically, because you don't have to, right? Like, you can exercise and you can eat healthy without having a coach in a group. Plenty of people do that. So if you already are on a great track, you don't necessarily need that support. And I fully understand that. Everybody is in a different point in their life. And I don't like fault people for that. If they tell me, like, you know what, now's not the right time for me, or, you know, I'm already doing this and I'm doing pretty well, like, I applaud that. I think that's great. If you don't feel the need for having this support and you're doing great on your own, that's wonderful, because not everybody needs this help. And I fully acknowledge that. I didn't feel like I even needed this help until May. I haven't been doing this my whole life. So I don't judge people if they're not ready for this or they don't need it. That's fine. The reason why I started doing this was because in my life where I was at in May, I just felt like I needed something more. I find being a mom, I love being a mom, but I also think that it's very isolating in some ways, because you're with your kids all the time. I'm home with my kids most of the time, so I don't even have that like coworker peer group that I used to have that I loved. One of my coworkers from Indiana is like actually in this free group right now, which, like, we had the most amazing connection, and I haven't had that since I was working full time, because I just don't have that now. I have great mom friends, but I don't have friends that I see day in and day out 5 days a week. And so, yeah, like, there's pros and cons. Like, some moms stay home, some moms work. But for the moms that stay home, it is very socially isolating, because you're just not going to see people as much as you do if you are working. And so I really miss that connection. And so I enjoy being part of the accountability groups for the fact that I'm able to connect with other moms and other people online. I also felt like after, like, I didn't have my nutrition where I wanted it to be. And I always think that you can learn something new. And so when I joined Beachbody in May, this was my thought process. So I love to exercise. Exercise is super important to me. I've known people who have done Beachbody for years. And so I was only going to sign up for the workouts, because you can do that. Like, you can just sign up for the workouts. And that's what I was about to do. But then, because it's $99, and like, to me, $99 for a year of workouts is nothing. You can't go to a gym for that amount of money. So for $100 a year to pay for unlimited workouts, to me, that was like a no-brainer. Like, let me just get this done, check it off the list, I'll start doing my workouts. But my friend Shannon, who's also in this group, she started posting pictures of her workouts and her doing these things. And I was like, well, you know what? I love to support other people. And it's not that much more money for me to go in with her than to do it on my own and just sign up for the workouts. So the workouts are $99. The full program is $160. So for a difference of $70, I was like, I gotta get $70 worth out of this difference from doing a group, because I knew she was gonna post meal plans. I knew she was gonna give me some support. And I was like, if I'm just that competitive that I know that if I'm in a group, I don't want to watch all these other people posting that they're doing workouts and then me sit there and be like, well, I took this whole month off. Like, I knew that if I was in a group, I would stick with it. And so for me, I'm like, okay, $100 for me to do it on my own, $160 for me to have that accountability. For me, I decided like that was worth it. That was my thought process going through this. And I was like, let me see what this is all about. Oh, my baby's waking up. Let me finish up. So that's why I did this. That's why I joined, because I knew I could do it on my own, but I just wanted it to be a little bit more fun. I wanted a little bit more community. I wanted a little bit more support. And so that's the difference that it's made for me. That's why I started. I've gotten so much more out of it since, which I will share with you in another video. But this video, I just really wanted to share with you my why. So I'm going to hop off, get this kid home. He was napping when I started. Maybe I should have done this outside and not been so loud. Who knows? But I hope you enjoy this group. I want to just show you through this week that you can do this at home with kids, working, staying home, whatever it is. You can do this, and it can help you live a healthier life. Have a great day.